I have an offer for everyone today. I am going to be back selling real estate investment properties this year. I'm going to work with 10 people who want to buy something within the next 6 months. We'll personally work together and I'll run the numbers with you and for you and help you build your team, and we'll get you going. If you're a new real estate investor or you're seasoned and you're looking to move up or you're just ready to do more deals, reach out to me, comment down below or hit me up on Insta. I'll be happy to chat with you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. Today we're delving into US politics. Yes, why are we delving into US politics? Well, we are delving into US politics today because it could have repercussions and ramifications for us in Canada and globally around the world. And what that is this is down the road, but the US is in very real danger of defaulting on its debt. I know back in 2021, this had happened before, and that they figured it out. So in August of this year, basically, they're going to hit their self-imposed debt ceiling. I think it's $31.4 trillion. So back in 2021, they raised it another $2.5 trillion, and they burned through that money already. So therefore, in August, they're gonna hit their cap again. And yeah, and so why is this time different than any other time, really? Well, back in 2021, you basically had one party and they were all happy to, well, they weren't happy, but you knew the problem was going to get fixed. This year, there's a lot more uncertainty around that because there is a dual party system. So Republicans control the House, Democrats the Senate, and obviously you have a Democratic president. So they might not all agree. And if they don't agree and the US default, what happens? Well, and why are people worried about this? Number one is because, well, just recently it took 15 votes to get Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House. Now, this has only happened, like 18 times out of 120 times where they've needed more than one vote. And out of that double digits, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 7th time there's been double digits. Back in 1820, there was 22 times. 1821, the year after, 12 times. 1834, 10. 1839, 11. But basically, since there hasn't been multiple votes or multiple ballots required since 1923, so it's been 100 years since there's been multiple ballots. So not even more than one. The last 100 years, there's only been one vote on Speaker of the House every time. This time took 15. And again, since 1923, that hasn't happened. So the worry is that there are a couple of Congress people who are basically saying, yeah, we want this to happen for this to happen. And they're playing good old, you can buy my vote if we do this. Not buy my vote, but I believe this is good for my constituents if this happens. We don't know what those deals that happened were yet, but we know that deals happen. So we also know that those same individuals are looking really to cut a lot of things that Democrats care about, like Medicare and social services. In the US, which being a Democratic president, I don't think that Biden can allow on his watch. The division between the House and the Senate and the presidency really is a cause for concern regarding all that. So if that were to happen, what happens? Well, number one, so in August, if that happens, the Treasury actually has emergency power to delay it. And this happened in 2021 where the Treasury started doing all their mechanisms, but they were coming to an end. So you're basically into November. October, November is where they have the power to be able to we can do this, we can do that. But after that, they default on bonds. They would stop paying government employees, childcare benefits. If the federal small business loans wouldn't be paid out. The US is the world currency. So this would send shockwaves around the world. Nobody would lend to the US. Credit would just pucker up, right? If there's no credit, stock markets are going to decline. And if confidence leaves the US, people aren't going to invest in US companies. They're going to be like, oh, that was safe before, it's not safe now. Loss of confidence is almost greater, well, it's as great as loss of credit. We saw what happened when credit basically puckered up in 2009, 2010, 2011. It was really, really tough to get financing on things back then. And if that happens again and it's that tough, you're going to see the same problem. Now, it's funny, I was talking to Andrew Hines. I was on his podcast. It's going to come out in a couple of weeks. Definitely, you guys check out his podcast. It's really good. This morning, and we're talking about that. He thinks it's better. The U.S. is in better shape right now because of the 30-year amortization loans that they have, and that's more prevalent. I'm going to just say yes and no. I agree that whoever owns their home on long-term debt down there, which is more prevalent now than it was back in 2008, 2009, is going to be way better off. But there's not going to be new loans. Again, you're going to be having to buy cash, like pay cash for things again down in the US, like you're buying homes for cash. And, you know, obviously if that happens, that's going to have huge economic ripples throughout the world. China holds $1 trillion worth of debt in the US. Like, so if they have 31 trillion, they own 1 trillion, they stop paying the interest on that. Well, you know, China's not going to be happy with that, right? Like it's just, this could be a huge cluster because this is going to affect, you know, say the stock market goes down a whole bunch because of this. Well, people maybe need to sell a home to cover margin, or they need to do this, they need to do that. There's going to be more of a flood. And if you can't get financing on those properties, then again, that's going to come back to an 08, 09 level of, well, for me, opportunity, for other people, crisis. And let's look behind the curtain. These 4 or 5 people that may be holding this up, they're not concerned about that. They are saying, well, give me what I'm asking for. They're basically holding it hostage at this point, right or wrong. But this is the mess that the US government has put themselves in, that they need to do this every couple of years now, rather than, you know, balance their budget or run a surplus. I mean, that'd be kind of silly. Why would they ever do that? Well, because of all these things, they put themselves in this predicament every couple of years, and it's going to cause turmoil. Now, I don't really have a solution for any of you guys. I'm just really making you guys aware of this, that this could be really bad, and it's a thing to watch down the line. And, you know, I might just go to cash in May, go, you know what they say, sell in May and go away and see what happens. You know, it might be worth sitting on that cash for a while, and you know, at least in the stock market, and sitting on it. Real estate, I obviously still think multifamily properties are going to do well through this. People need a place to live. More fear, less building, which is obviously good for people who already hold property. People are always asking me on my videos, if this is all happening, why are you still buying? Well, that's the specific reason, is I'm buying for cash flow and not so much appreciation at this point. So I'm always going to get that cash flow because people always need places to rent. It's one of the safest investments. So just a quick video today, guys. I thought I've been reading a lot about this. It's come up in a couple conversations today. I thought you guys should be aware. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. I'll get to all of those. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time.